Let's go! The Jake Johnson hype train starts today. He and Walker Howard tore it up at the LSU camps this past weekend. And when Jake runs his routes, he actually reminds me of an LSU legend. Let's get to it. Let's go! Alrighty, Walker Howard to our buddy, Juker Jake. Look at this throw. We're just going to play it a few times over. And it seems as if Walker Howard and Jake Johnson already have this connection. But look at how much zip is on this ball right here. I mean, this is a missile. And I understand I've overhyped Walker Howard, saying he's going to lead LSU to a college football playoff. But look, you got Mangus, you got, I believe, Mickey Joseph right here. A few other LSU coaches and all the campers. This is a pressure-packed situation. Remember, this is the first camp where everyone's back together under the LSU football lights and all the national championship banners. First thing I want to show you is let's see. I'm trying to see if I can label any of these other recruits here. A missile right where it needed to be. And there is a risk running all these routes shirtless. You're going to get bad turf burn here. But yes, Jake Johnson very well could be the best player in this 2022 cycle. He and Walker Howard, it was good seeing the photos of those two. Let's look at a few other clips. This was from Recruit, Louisiana. Let's just see this throw one more time. Let me see. Just a missile. Right where it needed to be. Love it. Absolutely love it. Protect Walker Howard at all cost. All right, so these are clips that Jake Johnson put out on his own Twitter account. So let's see what he does here. Here he is with the shirt on. Oh, my God. I need to know who threw this ball right here. I mean, is this Walker again? I don't know if I can see. Good route. One thing I really like about Jake Johnson, and you could tell, I know we talk so much about Max Johnson getting some good coaching from his Super Bowl dad, but you could tell Jake Johnson really knows how to play football. Because I want you to see how active, and it's kind of tough with the blurry footage. We're going to get to some really good footage in a second. I want you to see how active his hands are in the process of a route. So you see, he does like a little swipe of the arm to create some separation to get this guy off balance. And when you do that, and you'll get some better footage of this in a second, it just creates separation. You get this guy off balance, especially if he's pressed up on you. And you'll see, now he's got his upfield shoulder, once again using his hands, positioning his body to make a catch, back shoulder missile. I need to know if that was Walker Howard or Ricky Collins. I know Collins was throwing some dimes too, a 2023 backer. This is the same throw you just saw, but from a different angle. Once again, look at all these campers. Over 1,000 people were through the LSU facility, well over 700 campers. So once again, I mean, there is a lot of pressure on these young kids. Here's Jake in the slot. Just good. Easy pitch and catch. Let's see, was this, oh, my bad. Was this Walker on this throw? Oh, you better believe it was Walker Howard. Just gliding through the route. Our guy Jake just gliding through. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The Jake Johnson Walker Howard connection. Same thing. Just throughout the course of the route, and this is consistent. He sells his routes. This is what, look, this is what Justin Jefferson did better than anyone. And I understand that, in these camps, these corners are just playing press man across the way, which is what you'll see sometimes. But I want to see if you could beat press man. And like I said at the end of yesterday's video, I want these drills to be as lifelike as possible. Obviously, it's 7-on-7. I wish the campers were wearing pads, but still. I want you to just see this route, okay? He's selling this route, planting, getting this guy off balance. And once again, the swipe of that arm, it's so key. It's so key to swipe your arms whenever the defensive backs reach their arms off of you, because it gets their jam off balance, and it gets you a step, and it helps you create separation. See? He swipes that right arm, and it's just like a defensive lineman in a way. You're trying to keep the opponent's arms off of you, and just look at all that separation. And the fact that ball was a little bit late and behind him, and he still makes the catch. Just a simple out route. I mean, this guy is freaking money. Money. And, when I was watching Max Johnson's senior tape, so this is Jake Johnson as a sophomore, I'm like, really? This guy could be, one of the greats here. And I know it's very early. Get him off balance. Once again, if you get your hands on him, I know it's not something you normally think about as receivers, but if you get your hands on him, it's going to get them off balance. And that's exactly what happened here. Once again, ball a little high and behind him. Didn't know who threw it to him. Still makes the catch. All hands on the catch, too. Sick. I mean, once again, it's just the technique. I love this. This is very detailed route running and elite athleticism on top of it. So he gets the jam, and then he gets this is actually a really good defensive back out of West Monroe, and his name slips my mind. I think it's something Robinson. So this is a pretty good prospect he's going up against. And I want you to notice, I mean, this is exactly what Justin Jefferson made a living off of. And then he slows down, gets this guy off balance again, and then boom. Ball on the money, great catch, secures it while falling down. It's just gorgeous. And I want you to see this in the background here. Watch the man, probably the most important person watching this is, let's see, it's this guy right here. It's Mickey Joseph. And you could tell that got him excited. When you see something like that, when you see route running at that level, it's pretty insane. Same thing. D-back actually played this really, really nice. Once again, it's that same D-back from West Monroe. Great program. Shout out to the Will Blackwells of the world and the Barkevius Mingos. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Look at this. High and away. Great catch. I mean, I could watch Jake Johnson all day. Look at that. So here he is right here. This is, once again, the great Julie Bodwin. She could be the best recruiting reporter. What makes her reporting very interesting is, obviously, she did some great work with Mason Smith and Coy Moore, but she is an elite videographer. And you saw it yesterday with the 4K footage. So give her a follow on Twitter. We can get some better reactions. Here's Mickey Joseph. Here's Carter Sheridan, a very critical analyst for LSU. And obviously lots of high school coaches just around here. And this is a critical evaluation point. So we get Walker Howard here. Jake Johnson. This is a very interesting thing. I know it's 7-on-7. Walker Howard repping the Under Armour Nike combo. I like it. Jake Johnson with the Nike cleats. Once again, this 4K footage, you can't beat it. So this is interesting. Walker Howard going through progressions during a 7-on-7, and then eventually finding our guy Jake Johnson. All right. Good little route here. Look at that. I think this was that back shoulder ball from the other clip. Let's see, who threw this? I want to see who threw it. Can't see. So the cool thing about the way Julie shoots this is that this is a high quality lens, and notice it gets that good bokeh in the background, and bokeh is when the background's blurry. It's just good stuff right there. Got the LSU gloves on. All right, and I believe, what is this young man's name out of West Monroe? He Pleasant, okay? Very nice. So he's going up against Jake Johnson, and obviously, press man on the outside. If you're getting an elite tight end, you want to see if he could beat this. All right. So I know this was incomplete, and this was a bad throw, but let's go through the process of this route here. So the only downside of this being this tight is that we can't. Okay, let's see. All right, a few things here. Once again, great route. This is a really good jam by this DB right here. Okay, this is what I like to see, this left arm. You see how he swipes it? So now, since he swiped this arm, he's able to create just this little bit of separation, and now he's by him. Okay? But Pleasant is still in position to make a play on this ball. So this is what I was talking about, using your arms to create separation in the middle of the route. Okay? Because you don't want this DB putting his hand on you and riding you out of bounds. So you see this little, it's this little thing, okay, in the middle of the route, trying to get him off of you, trying to create some separation. Our guy is yawning. How can you be yawning here? And now it's up in the air, and we get a bad throw, okay? But this is why the corner won on this play. Yes, it was a bad throw. Yes, we didn't get an opportunity. But you also have to give your quarterback just a little bit more room to work with. Now, I understand this is, scrimmages and 7-on-7, so you're not really lining up where you should be lining up. But when you run your route this close to the sideline, you don't give your quarterback a whole lot of room to throw this football. So, once again, it wasn't a good throw. I would have liked to have seen a good throw and seen a jump ball. And these two guys, based on all the footage that I've watched, these two guys were two of the best campers I saw, Jake Johnson and Pleasant. And I'm sorry I butchered his name just a little bit earlier. So here we are again, same matchup. I love it. And this was like the same thing we saw earlier. If he's going to get up on you, jam him. Jam him back. Take it to him. And you see that creates that separation. And even then, look at that, kicking up those black beads. He's squaring them up. I mean, just look at this detail in a route. Once again, this is how Justin Jefferson made his money, baby. Walker Howard right there. Go look at Justin Jefferson versus Clemson. It was a 3rd and 4 on the big drive right before the half. One of the filthiest routes, and I know he was up against Skalski, a linebacker. But just selling your routes. And there's a risk to it because when you slow down like this, obviously it takes longer to develop. But you see, by Pleasant was able to catch up to him. By slowing down like this, though, you get him off balance, and look at all this separation. I mean, it's crazy. And Pleasant actually did a good job driving down on this, but still, it's just great route running. Once again, this is just such a cool lens. This is really good stuff from Julie. And then you see Walker Howard in the background. You get chills. And it's crazy. I think Jake Johnson doesn't wear 14. I think this could be Max Johnson's helmet, which is pretty cool. Okay. I think this is either Jennings or Holly at running back. So it's a who's who. Obviously, both of them are elite backs. Both of them are top 15 players in their respective classes. Holly's 2023. Jennings is 2022. I saw a photo of them, and it's either one of these guys. So it's cool seeing all these elite campers together. You got Blake Baker in the background here. I think this is Mangus. So yeah, let's run this. Let's see this rep. I mean, I feel bad for this DB having to go up against a top 100 recruit like this. I mean, you didn't have to do him like that, Juker Jake. You didn't have to do this. Ugh! That step, baby. That step is filthy. Jake! Can he play this season? I mean, what? Can he play? Put him out there right now. Huh? This guy could be the best tight end on LSU's team right the freak now. Ugh. Let's slow it down. Y'all want to slow it down? Let's slow it down, baby. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. It's kind of cool seeing this in slow-mo. All right. Huh? Plant. DB has no chance, baby. DB's got no chance. All hands catch. All you can do is grab you. That's big time right there. We got some players right here getting psyched. Freaking love it. Freaking love it. Got Jure right here. What's up, Jure? And I'm guessing this is Kayshawn. Okay. And there's Mangus. There's PEETZ. And Jake's probably wondering the same thing. Can we not get this guy on the field next season? My goodness. Same thing. Going up a different DB from West Monroe here. Huh. It's just, what can you do? I mean, really, what can you do about this? And the funny thing is our guy here has inside leverage. Or is this Pleasant? I don't know. I'm getting caught up. So he had inside leverage, and Jake Johnson still got inside. I mean, that's just how good this route is. Huh. That plant. Selling it. That shows you that he really works on this. Huh. And you see it just gets your DBs off balance when you're going up an elite route runner. Let's see who's in the background here. Derek Panamsky. I think we see a few Louisiana Tech coaches right here. We got Nuss. Got Garrett Nussmeyer. That's interesting. So a lot of very important people in this photo. This is the quarterback. I saw Julie tweet this out. That got offered class of 2024. So Walker Howard's class of 2022. So that means he's a rising senior. LSU offered this kid. He looks like Trevor Lawrence with the hair. And he is a rising. If you're 2024, that means you're a rising sophomore. All right. So a lot of critical pieces to the future of LSU football all in this. So Derek Panamsky, very important right-hand man to ED Orgeron. Jake PEETZ. You get Garrett Nussmeyer right here. Is he wearing like a little earpiece here? I don't know. So, yeah, obviously, you're looking at the two future quarterbacks of this program right here. And I think Garrett, you know what would have been cool is to see Garrett out here throwing as well. I know it's crazy since he's already on the team. But I'm sure Garrett, knowing what I've read about this guy as a competitor, would like to have gone mano-a-mano against Walker. That's your future QB room. We got Jack Besh back here. Okay. And that could be your future. These could be your future LSU tight ends right here as well. Besh and Johnson. Love it. Jalen Sheed. Just a good job. I mean, these West Monroe defensive backs really impress me. And look, he gets beat on this rep here. All right. So now we get here. Okay. Jake Johnson running this route. And this is just impressive right here. I just like how active he is with his arms. Okay? So, look, he swipes his elbow, and then he swipes that elbow. It's very detailed. And if you go look at, like, some of the great wide receivers in the NFL, some of the Anquan Boldens of the world, they're so good at this as well. So, we'll slow it down. Let's slow it down even more. Okay? Slow this thing down. Okay. So, trying to get him off balance. And then he reaches. Okay? So he swims basically this guy's arms. And what's very interesting is a lot of wide receivers are starting to do this themselves. And what you'll see is, and this is a good example of this, DK Metcalf, who's probably, a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. I saw him working with a defensive line specialist, a guy by the name of Brandon Jordan. And what DK Metcalf was working on while getting ready to do a 100-meter dash was this very thing. He was doing defensive line exercises so he could get better at punching and just swiping arms like this. So what Jake Johnson does a good job of here on this route is this very thing. Okay? He sees the DBs want to get hands on him. The route gets him a little off balance. And you see he swipes that back arm off. But notice the DB right here feels he's off balance. And now he's essentially holding him. But notice Jake Johnson is leaning into him. So Jake knows if he's leaning into him and his arms are flailing, all I have to do is disengage and run as hard as I can this way, and I'm going to create some separation. So that's exactly what he does. DB is holding him here, and he does, not really too bad of a hold. This is just physical but really good coverage. I mean, they didn't call this on the Buccaneers on their run to the big game last season, especially against Green Bay and the Saints. So, really good coverage, but the ball is perfect, and Jake couldn't get his hands on this ball right. Allows it to get to him, and you got to bring this down, and he does it. This is a really good rep on both parties here. This is good stuff. I'd like to know what this young man's name is. Whether this is Pleasant, I get confused between the West Monroe defensive backs. I love this competitiveness. This was a really good rep by this DB. And I understand, he's holding them. They let you get away with this. Eli Ricks versus Florida, very first snap of the game. They let him. I mean, I like seeing DBs get to be physical with the receiver. And the only thing Jake didn't do here was just get his left arm, on top of it. He tried to catch it like this instead of like this. But this is what happens when you're going up against these physical DBs. And obviously just a rare drop. So, look. And we get one more rep. I thought that was the last rep. Okay? See what we get here. We're going at, let's get it at full speed first. And be fair to all the other reps. Kind of like the slow-mo stuff, though. Okay? Let's get one, right? So there's that rep at full speed. Okay? Just look at all these people here. This is unbelievable. Got parents, kids. Let's see. My God. You're going to... All right, let's see who's back here. Let's run the rep at full speed again. What a throw. Okay. Mangus, obviously, Coach O. Our guy, Will Campbell, right here. Okay. It's good to see Will Campbell very active. Here's Max. It's first time seeing Max. And, do this at your own risk. Okay? I'll take a really good route. Gets him off balance. All that cushion. Pitch and catch. But look at where that ball is. Can you throw a better ball than this, Walker Howard? You can't. Corey Raymond. Boom. Look, I'm going to play these clips in the background as we wrap this thing on up. Jake Johnson looks like the real deal. And I understand this is 7-on-7. I understand don't get too carried away. I understand he's got some really good quarterbacks throwing him the ball. Walker Howard, Ricky Collins. But he looks good. He looks really good. And the high school tape shows this as well. Obviously, genetics You guys know the genetics part of it. And you could just tell he puts a lot into his craft. I really enjoyed watching these West Monroe DBs. I know it's kind of a side note from this video. But the thing that's really fascinating to me about, obviously, Jake Johnson's recruitment is going to be how this quarterback room shapes itself out. So, obviously, Jake likes playing with Walker Howard. They spend a lot of time together. It's a very fascinating development there. And then, of course, Max Johnson still has 4 years of eligibility remaining. And then, of course, we have our guy Garrett Nussmeier tossing the football. And then you got to factor in the Holsteins and the Mannings and the Collins of the world. So it's obviously, a lot of projecting, but it looks as if Jake Johnson's a guy that LSU really needs to lock down. I mean, this is some really good stuff. And look, the sky's the limit for him. Now, it's going to be fascinating to see what the LSU tight ends room is going to look like, what the LSU offense is going to look like. It's also going to be interesting to see what the wide receiver situation is going to be, because there's still a lot of targets that need to get sorted out for LSU. So, obviously, Kayshawn's going to be the guy for the next 2 seasons, and it's going to be really hard to get another one of those guys. But then after that, reps are going to be wide open. Dre has 2 years remaining if he wants them. And then, of course, Coy Moore's in that mix, and Trey Palmer and Devonta Lee. And then the 5 guys, at least 2 of them are going to be really, really good players. So, as far as Jake Johnson's development, what's really good about it is that he doesn't have to be a year 1 guy. But I will say, based on what I've seen so far, once again, I still need to see his junior tape. I would like to see how he perform, or his senior tape, how he performs his senior season. But when I watch him, I think I see a year 1 guy. I really do. And I don't like playing true freshman year 1 or whatever. But the good thing is that he's not going to have to be a year 1 guy. He could be a year 2 guy. And then, obviously, year 2 will be the year 2023. Will be the year we'll likely see Jake Johnson in the starting lineup, if, of course, he signs with LSU. So, a lot of ifs in this situation. Alrighty, if you made it to the end of the video, you get a little bonus Big Bad Brad Johnson action here. I'm telling you, these trick shots are better than any ring this guy's ever won in the NFL. I mean, Tom Brady is the second greatest Bucs quarterback after Big Bad Brad. You can't be serious. The spin on the finger, the backspin bounce over the goal, and he points. Big Bad Brad, number 14. And he followed me on Twitter after this. I've never been happier in my life. Forget all that other film study. Forget about Max. Forget about Juke or Drake. Yes, both of them have bright futures at LSU. But just look at this. The bounce over the goal. I love trick shot TikTok. Oh, man. I still can't believe he followed me on Twitter. Oh, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. There's some other content floating in front of your face right now, including our Lucas whatever film study. You can watch it. This just makes me so happy. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! Think we're doing tacos tonight. Let's